This is a phenomenon. Caitlyn Clark is a phenomenon. And if I said to any of these people who think Caitlyn Clark is not the Rookie of the Year, I'd say, who would you want to start your franchise with? Now, I'm not going to put A'ja Wilson in there. I'm just saying between these two. Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlyn Clark is.
Angel Reese has been going through a tough stretch lately, receiving cold shoulders from all directions. Despite putting up a decent stat line in a blowout loss to the Phoenix Mercury, her association with Caitlyn Clark's brand seems to be costing her dearly. One of the earliest signs of rejection came from coach Cheryl Reeve, who, let's be honest, isn't exactly a fan favorite among some circles when she passed on Reese during the draft. Instead of selecting Reese, Reeve went with another player, despite that choice not delivering particularly great results. The rejection from Reeve was as clear as the iconic Dika Mutombo finger wag. But that wasn't the end of it. Caitlyn Clark, too, has apparently distanced herself. Reese, who has been trying to model herself after Clark, or at least compete with her, is facing backlash. While Clark continues to dominate, recently dismantling the Seattle Storm with the Indiana Fever and shining alongside teammates like Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Holris, is struggling offensively. In her previous 5 games before facing the Mercury, Reese was shooting just 29% from the field, mostly on attempts close to the rim. Her inability to convert shots within just a few feet is troubling. And while watching those games, it's clear she's missing crucial opportunities under the basket. To her credit, though, Reese is adapting. Instead of forcing layups against players like Brittany Griner, she began incorporating mid-range jumpers and face-up shots into her game during the Mercury matchup. That adjustment paid off, as she ended up scoring around 19 or 20 points, though the exact figure was hard to confirm in the moment. Still, there's a major issue with how Reese has attached herself to the Caitlyn Clark conversation. If her performance were evaluated independently without the Rookie of the Year comparison or media-driven rivalry, people would likely be praising her for her energy, rebounding, and defense. Most recently, Angel Reese attempted to recruit French Olympic star Gabby Williams to the Chicago Sky. Williams, widely respected for her elite defense, is returning to the WNBA after competing in the Olympics and had been heavily sought after. Reese reached out shortly after the gold medal game, hoping Williams would join her in Chicago. Instead, Williams rejected the idea, reportedly saying, "Let's team up somewhere else. They did me dirty." That rejection stings especially hard because the Fever could have used Williams to. Now, Williams has joined the Seattle Storm. Interestingly, she was initially acquired by the Storm through a 2022 trade with the LA Sparks and was a starter during that season, averaging 7.5 points and 5 rebounds, along with earning all-defensive second-team honors. Last year, despite battling a concussion and later a stress fracture, she rejoined the Storm mid-season and managed to average 8.4 points and 3.8 rebounds across 10 games. Williams opted to sit out the beginning of this season to prepare with the French national team. During the Olympics, she was outstanding, nearly leading France to a gold medal and scoring a team-high 152 points while averaging 5.8 assists. She even came close to sinking a game-tying shot against Team USA, but her foot was barely on the line. The shot didn't count, yet it underscored her dominance. That kind of talent is exactly what the Sky needed, and Reese's attempt to bring her on board, only to be turned down, adds another rejection to an already difficult stretch. Now, Reese is back in the WNBA amid the playoff chase, continuing to evolve. As a player, however, her offensive mechanics still need work. She has an awkward left-handed shot released from her shoulder rather than eye level, making it easy for defenders to block, especially when she's forcing shots under pressure. Her biggest issue remains the public comparison to Caitlyn Clark, which is hurting her more than helping. The truth is, Reese isn't a dynamic offensive threat right now. She's more of a rebounding and energy player, and while that role is critical, it's often overlooked when she's being constantly measured against a sharpshooter like Clark. Meanwhile, the Seattle Storm just got a serious wake-up call from the Fever, leading many to wonder if Indiana could be on a trajectory toward the WNBA Finals. Clark's ability to find open teammates and execute plays has elevated the Fever's performance. They've become a legitimate threat, potentially able to beat almost anyone except maybe the Aces, who are still the league's powerhouse. It's worth noting the Aces faced the Fever earlier in the season, when Indiana was struggling. Facing the current version of the Fever, led by a locked-in Caitlyn Clark, would be a very different challenge. Adding to Reese's woes, Cheryl Reeve continues to deny her opportunities. In one controversial moment, Reese was ejected from a game against the New York Liberty after receiving back-to-back technical fouls. The second was later rescinded upon further league review, but the damage was done. Reese had been drafted 7th overall by the Chicago Sky, while Reeve's Minnesota Lynx traded down to avoid selecting her. Reeve's rationale reportedly centered around the concern that Reese wouldn't fit the team's playing style and might disrupt Sylvia Fowles' legacy. so she chose Alyssa Pilley instead. That move hasn't paid off much, with Pilley averaging only 6.4 minutes per game, while Reese is a near-constant presence on the court. The Caitlyn Clark-Kennedy Carter incident, where Carter checked Clark hard during a game, became a national story. Reese defended Carter afterward, arguing that the attention women's basketball is getting isn't solely due to Clark, but also to players like herself. That moment added fuel to an already controversial narrative and brought Reese even more scrutiny. Meanwhile, Cheryl Reeve, now head coach of Team USA, continues to shape the Olympic roster. There's speculation she may keep both Clark and Reese off future Olympic teams, such as the one in 2028 in Los Angeles. Reeve's past decisions have raised questions about her motivations and whether she favors certain players or demographics. Some even wonder if her choices are influenced by personal bias, particularly given her strong LGBTQ advocacy, though that's purely speculative and highly debated. Interestingly, during the WNBA All-Star Game, Clark, Reese, and others managed to hand Team USA their only summer loss, a stunning upset that Reeve surely took note of. If Reese continues to rise, Reeve may eventually have to reconsider her stance. Still, the fact that Reeve traded away her draft position just to avoid picking Reese underscores just how much resistance Reese has faced. Despite criticisms that Reese's stats might be a little inflated, many believe she still deserved a chance. With the Lynx, instead, she was shut out, prompting some to question whether the debate around her skill set is really about basketball or just clickbait. The truth is, Reese plays incredibly hard. Her relentlessness reminds some analysts of Moses Malone. While her game lacks flash or wow moments, her tenacity stands out. On the other hand, there's no denying that Caitlyn Clark is unique. Even those critical of the media frenzy around her admit there's simply no one else like her in the league. Cheryl Reeve, Dawn Staley, and Gino Arima are believed by some to have deliberately left Clark off the Olympic roster in favor of veterans like Chelsea Gray and Diana Taurasi. Despite Clark's superior stats, Reeve, in particular, appears to have an agenda that some feel is political rather than performance-based. Clark has since sparked speculation about her own future in basketball, especially regarding a potential move to the new Unrivaled League, created by Breena Stewart and Afisa Collier. This new venture aims to revolutionize women's basketball, and Clark's involvement could further amplify its visibility and credibility.